Hello, hello, it's Holly, also known as Wildberry, coming to you with one of my Summer 24 adventures. If you're new here, welcome, and if you stuck around since my 2023 Appalachian Trail thru hike, thank you, and welcome back. This video contains one of my 2024 adventures from Michigan to Utah and all of the stops in between. There will also be an announcement about my next thru hike coming up somewhere along in the video, so be sure to stick around for that. Before we get started on this adventure, I want to catch you up on to some of the things that have gone on in the year and a half since my Appalachian Trail thru hike. After hiking 2,200 miles, I took some time off and just kind of recuperated and made some plans as to what was going to be next. 2024 was a crazy year with a lot of things happening, some of which were expected and some were not planned. One of the things that happened in 2024 was that I returned to work at a local dental office as a dental assistant, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to work with such an amazing group of women. That's a decision that I do not regret, and I'm very happy that the Lord placed me in that position when He did. In addition to that, life circumstances have brought me to live in a tiny house part-time and in my 32-foot travel trailer the rest of the year when it's warmer on my parents' property. And I've again been truly, truly grateful to have extra time to spend with them and just kind of help them out around their homestead, their house. And my dad's always got projects, many more than my mom has ever dreamed up. So it's just been really good connecting with them and helping them out as needed. 2024 also brought me to a place where I have started my own publishing business. I've written a booklet, and several other books are in the works or have already been published, and there's many more to come in the future. My next big adventure begins within 2 weeks, and I'm really excited about that, and I'm excited to bring you guys along as well. I will be heading off to Peru in May to hike the Inca Trail with my sister. And it's just a 4-day hike, but we will be doing a lot of other things. We'll be gone for about 2 weeks, and I will be sure to bring you along for that adventure as well. And as if all of that wasn't enough, I will be returning to the Appalachian Trail in June and July for some just little bitty section hikes of specific areas on trail that I want to re-explore. So I will bring you along for that as well. So if you're into hiking, road trips, or just want to follow along on my adventures, stay tuned. There's lots more to come. And light up the comment section with any of your questions going forward on what my plans are, and I will be happy to share what I know and what I can about those. I'm really excited to get back into the travel adventure mode and to bring you guys along with me. So now, let's hit the road. I set out from Manistee County, Michigan on a warm July evening, heading north towards the Mackinac Bridge, the gateway to the Upper Peninsula. My first destination was Kitch-iti-kipi, Michigan's largest freshwater spring, hidden in the Upper Peninsula in Palms Brook State Park. I met up with my parents, who were camping nearby. We boarded the self-operated raft and drifted over crystal clear waters, watching the ancient submerged trees below. After taking in the serene beauty of the spring, we parted ways, and I continued my journey westward. As night fell, I pushed toward U.S. Route 90, stopping just before the Minnesota border. This was my first ever solo sleep in a rest area. Just 3 hours of shut-eye before hitting the road again. The morning light found me heading toward my next stop, the world-famous Corn Palace in South Dakota. Part of my adventure has brought me to the world's only Corn Palace. I have no idea what it's about, but I had it recommended to me by my friend Kim. And so let's go find out what the world's largest, only Corn Palace is all about. This is a happy place. fields of corn. As is that. This whimsical building, covered in giant murals made entirely out of corn and other grains, intrigued me. Every year, the entire exterior is redesigned with a new theme, created by local artists using thousands of bushels of naturally colored corn, grains, and native grasses. It's part folk art, part community pride, and 100% small-town American charm. Inside is a slice of history and a center of entertainment. The Corn Palace has been around since 1892, originally built to prove the fertility of South Dakota soil and attract settlers. Over time, it became a beloved community hub. This quirky venue has actually hosted some legendary acts. Through the decades, famous performers like Johnny Cash, Loretta Lynn, and Willie Nelson have taken the stage here. Even more modern artists like Kenny Rogers, the Beach Boys, and Carrie Underwood have brought their music to the heart of Mitchell. It's kind of surreal to think about these big-name artists playing under a roof surrounded by corn husks and prairie pride. The Corn Palace isn't just a stop on the map. It's a reminder that in the middle of the plains, creativity, culture, and community come together in the most unexpected ways. After exploring the site, I continued westward and made a spontaneous stop at the Dignity of Earth and Sky statue, a breathtaking 50-foot-tall sculpture overlooking the Missouri River. Created to honor the Lakota and Dakota indigenous peoples, this stainless steel figure of a Native woman holding a star quilt makes a powerful impression. I am at a little rest stop here on the borders or boundaries of the Missouri River in South Dakota, and this is what I came to see. It's called Dignity of Earth and Sky. This has been a great little place to stretch, get out of the car and walk, and just get some exercise because I've been sitting in the car for a long time. So this is really neat because Lewis and Clark actually camped on the borders of this river at least several times back in 1804 and 1806. So that's pretty darn cool. And now it is time to head back and get back on the road for my next destination. It's really cool. My next stop was Wall Drug, an iconic roadside attraction that started as a simple drugstore and has since grown into a sprawling complex of shops, restaurants, and quirky displays. But overwhelmed by the sheer number of people, I opted to move out without capturing any footage. Instead, I focused on finding the perfect place to rest for the night. Using the app iOverlander, I discovered Badlands Boondock, a remote, free camping area with breathtaking views of the rugged Badlands terrain. After resting for several hours, I made a bold decision to press on and reach Mount Rushmore before closing time. I arrived at Mount Rushmore just in time to see the iconic carvings illuminated against the evening sky. Now I'm going to be looking for something I have waited for. Standing beneath the towering faces of past presidents, I felt a deep sense of gratitude for my freedom. With the day finally catching up to me, I found a remote camping spot nearby, Wrinkled Rock Climbers Trailhead. The peacefulness of the Black Hills was the perfect contrast to the excitement of my day. Good morning. I spent the night at Wrinkled Rock Trailhead and I slept amazingly well in my car. And now I am heading to Colorado. I don't know that I'll show you much along today's route, but I have to say I didn't know how much I missed the mountains until I got back up here this morning. I'm super emotional because it is just gorgeous and it feels like home. That would be not a bad way to start your morning. Morning sunrise, hot air balloon. The next morning, I started my drive south toward the Manitou Cliff Dwellings in Colorado. The route took me through vast open grasslands, and I couldn't stop thinking about the people who came before, both the early settlers and the native tribes who originally lived there. The land stretched endlessly in all directions, open and untamed. It made me think about the challenges those early travelers faced, crossing the same terrain with nothing but wagons and grit. Out there, with nothing but sky and earth, it really put time into perspective. I really didn't know what to expect when I pulled into the Manitou Cliff Dwellings just outside of Colorado Springs, but it turned out to be one of those places that really makes you pause and think. These dwellings were originally built over 800 years ago by ancestral pueblos, sometimes called the Anasazi. They weren't originally located here, but the stones were carefully moved from the Four Corners region in the early 1900s to protect them from erosion and looting. There's a gift shop and museum on site that's full of artifacts, things like pottery, tools, and dioramas that show what daily life must have looked like. It really gave me a lot of insight as to what life in the cliff dwellings may have been like. The ingenuity and creative skills this culture possessed sparked the desire to get back to the basic skills. The original structures here were built over 800 years ago by ancestral pueblos. They were relocated to this current site in the early 1900s from the Four Corners region, which is southwestern Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. They were carefully reconstructed using the original stones to preserve and protect them from looters and erosion. Unlike the dwellings in Mesa Verde National Park, which are fragile and off limits for touching, the Manitou Cliff Dwellings are open for visitors to walk inside, explore, and even touch the ancient walls. The ancestral pueblos were known for their advanced stone masonry, farming techniques, and survival skills in the harsh desert environment. They built cliff dwellings primarily for protection from invaders and harsh weather conditions. It is believed that they abandoned their homes around 1300 AD, likely due to drought, food shortages, or conflicts. Unlike the cliff dwellings at Mesa Verde or Bandelier National Monument, which require ranger-led tours, the Manitou Cliff Dwellings allow self-guided exploration. Because of its easy accessibility, it's a great stop for those who want to experience the history of ancient ancestral pueblos without extensive hiking or guided tours. Continuing west, I reached a significant milestone, the point where a certain trail crosses Route 24. It is July 2024, and I am here to announce something exciting for July of 2025. Let me show you where I'm at. I am taking my first steps on the CDT in order to announce that in 2025 I will be attempting a thru hike of the Continental Divide Trail. I plan on starting in July of 25 as a southbound thru hiker. My heart is pounding. My nerves are on edge, and I am so excited to have made this decision and this announcement. And I hope that you will choose to follow me along here on Backpacking Bible, because I will be recording the adventure for you to see as well. This year I am following Kelly Hayes hikes, as she is doing the exact same hike that I'm attempting to do next year. She's doing that currently. So head on over to Kelly Hayes hikes and follow her journey, and then come back next year and follow mine. I will be doing a few other additional videos as I gear up for that. So as always, thank you, and I love your support. If there's anything in particular that you are wondering, let me know. I'd love to share what I know and take this adventure together. Next summer, you see those people there? I will be coming down that trail the opposite direction and ending up right here at this road crossing. Standing at that road crossing, imagining the thousands of miles that stretched ahead of me, I felt both excitement and a deep respect for the journey to come. Once again, I used the app iOverlander to find a spot to camp for the night. I was on the side of a beautiful mountain in a glorious little meadow, and there was a babbling brook nearby. It was a great spot. I hear a little babbling brook. So I just wanted to show you real quickly the inside of my car. It's going to be tight, but here we go. So we've got the front seat, we've got the back seat, but my favorite is my skylight. And tonight I'm actually in bed really early because the mosquitoes outside are horrendous and I was getting eaten alive. So I am going to be heading towards Utah tomorrow from Colorado. I am actually a little bit south west of Denver, and I am in a really beautiful spot. So For tonight's camping spot, I am at the Hale Canyon campsite, and this is what's behind me. Pretty incredible. I am the only one here, and this is my little campsite. So, came in this way. This is number 10, and let's go explore. I have not been up here yet. I'm probably going to just be sleeping in my car, but I have access to picnic table and fire ring, and here's a little tent spot. So likely I will just be in my car, but I could put up my tent because I did bring it with me. Oh, there's a lizard. Let's see if we can find him. Or I might actually put my hammock up right here. This would be a good spot for that because I brought that too. Today was kind of a non-productive day, I guess. It was a beautiful drive over here from Pikes Peak area. I did not go up to Pikes Peak. I was going to do that. I changed plans, and now I am near the Arches. That is in Moab. Arches is a national park, and I'm going to be going there shortly. They have free entry between, well, after 4 p.m. and then before 7 a.m. So I'm gonna get my little camp spot here established, and then I'm going to head there. And this is what I'm looking at. Very, very cool. Just some beautiful scenery where I'm at right now. And I could look at this all day. It's gorgeous. These red rocks are incredible. And right across from my campsite, it is the Colorado River. So altogether, not a too terrible of a place to stay. Hotter than Hades. It's 102 right now. Ooh, there's another blizzard. I've got my hammock set up, got my chair, so I'm just going to kick back and relax until it's time to eat something for dinner. I'm going to sit here and commiserate with the lizards and look at that view. That's what I'm going to do. The next morning brought cooler temperatures, a welcome relief from the previous day's 102-degree heat. That morning, my destination was Arches National Park, where I took advantage of the free entry before 7 a.m. I took the long and winding road back to one of the most iconic landmarks in the West, Delicate Arch. Arches National Park is home to over 2,000 natural stone arches, plus giant balanced rocks, spires, and fins that rise up straight out of the desert floor. Just driving through the park was incredible, but I knew I wanted to get out and hike and really experience it up close. I decided to hike to Delicate Arch, the most famous arch in the park, and maybe one of the most recognizable landmarks in the entire country. The hike is about 3 miles round trip, and even though it's not super long, it does make you work for it a little. Much of the trail is hard red rock or sand, and it winds over slick rocks that climb steadily with hardly any shade. Luckily, with the early morning trek I was taking, I didn't have to worry too much about that. Every step felt worth it. When I rounded that final corner and delicate arch came into view, it honestly took my breath away. It's hard to describe the feeling of standing there, with the arch perfectly framed against the open sky and the La Salle Mountains off in the distance. Pictures just don't do it justice, nor does video. After spending some time at the arch soaking it all in, I made my way back down the trail. The desert was starting to heat up, but there was something peaceful about the walk back. Just the sound of the wind and my own footsteps across the rock. Driving back through the park towards the exit, I found myself slowing down and taking it all in one last time. It's the kind of place that reminds you how small you are and how beautiful the world can be when you take the time to look around. With my road trip adventures temporarily on pause, I made my way to Salt Lake City for the Health and Wellness Conference that I began this journey for. But this adventure wasn't just about the miles traveled. It was about the moments that shaped me along the way. My first solo trip. The landscapes, the history, the solitude, the freedom, and the people all woven together into an unforgettable experience. As always, the road still calls. This is just the beginning of my adventures.